Verbal apologies are cheap to a lot of people, especially to the chronic offenders. Verbal apology is cheap because they're used to doing it. They do it all the time, so they can just say, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong, shouldn't have done it. It comes cheaply to them because they're used to doing it, and they're used to doing it because they continue to offend, and they continue to offend because they're not truly sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Florence. In this video, I wanted to talk about people that are quick to apologize. Now, normally when someone does something wrong and they apologize as soon as you confront them and tell them what they've done, we tend to think that because they apologize, they truly are sorry, and they're good people because of that. But let's look at it from a different perspective, okay? We've always been told that people who never say they're sorry are either bad people, or they're self-centered, or they don't care. So looking at it from a different perspective, I have come to find that certain people that are very quick to apologize do that because apologizing means nothing to them. They intentionally do things that hurt other people with the intention of apologizing afterwards. I've heard this many times. I've heard people say this, like, oh, when they say anything, I'll just apologize, it's no big deal. And then they go ahead and do what they know will hurt someone else. When I saw this interview between Nicole Murphy and Wendy Williams, I was just like in awe of the nonchalant way that Nicole apologized. And it's just, to me, it just seemed as though she does not care at all. She's used to apologizing for things. You know, there's certain people that are just used to apologizing for things. They're always apologizing for things. That is how this came across to me. Like, it just seemed like she wasn't even apologizing to Layla. It didn't seem like she was apologizing to Layla, because when they asked her, do you know Layla, she said, yeah, in passing, like if I saw her down the street. There are certain people that apologize a lot, and they apologize very often. I'm not talking about when you bump into someone and you say, oh, I'm sorry, or even though it's not your fault, or let's say someone bumps into you and you still say I'm sorry, maybe when you're walking down the hallway, or like something minor. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you do something, when you do something serious, and maybe you say something racially charged, or you know, when you do something serious in the public eye and you're called out, and you go and just type an apology really quickly, or you apologize, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. We tend to accept that, but I'm starting to realize that people that have a pattern of apologizing do so easily because the apology means nothing to them. They're not going to change their behavior. They're just going to get better at hiding the things that they do. They're not truly sorry. So you need to be aware of people that are very quick to apologize, because it does not mean that they are sorry. It does not mean that they care about your feelings or care about hurting anyone. They're just apologizing to get people off their backs, and that's the reason for their apology. This also got me thinking about people who don't apologize. I don't know if you know anyone like this, but there are certain people that rarely say the words I'm sorry, but they change their behavior. Like, they do things to placate the situation and to right their wrongs. They may not necessarily say I'm sorry, but they begin to do things. They do all these extra things that you didn't even ask for, so that you can forgive them and to show that their behavior have changed. To me, those are the most honest, repenters of their behavior than people that actually say the words I'm sorry. Personally, that phrase doesn't mean anything to me, saying I'm sorry. It's your behavior that tells me if you're sorry or not. Because if someone is sorry for something that they've done, they will not repeat it. It won't be a pattern in their life because they're truly sorry, and they will try to change their behavior to mirror the fact that they are they're trying to be better people. But if someone apologizes but they tend to repeat their behavior over and over, and they do the same thing over and over again, then clearly the words I'm sorry is just a thing that they use to get people off their backs. So basically what I'm saying is, don't always think that the person that does not say I'm sorry is not sorry. You have to look at people's behavior. That is the number one telltale sign that someone is truly sorry about their behavior. They will go above and beyond to show that they're trying to do better things and they're trying to be better. And they may never say the words I'm sorry because some people are just uncomfortable saying certain words. Not everyone is comfortable using certain words the way other people are. There are so many things that some people say very easily, but others don't. I don't know why. It's probably, I don't know why. However, I know that there are some people who rarely say I'm sorry. They may explain why they did what they did and then go ahead to try to correct the problem by, changing their behavior and doing all these nice things that to prove to the other person that they truly are trying to change for the better. And I think that that is what we should focus on, and not so much on the person that says I'm sorry, because apologies, saying the words I'm sorry is very, it comes very easily to some people, and behavioral change is the most difficult thing to do. Changing your behavior is very, very difficult, and only people that truly mean to change succeed in that, because they focus on it and they actually put in the effort to try to change. If someone says I'm sorry in this nonchalant way that Nicole Murphy did, and then she later goes on to say, oh, I don't really know this woman, I mean, if I saw her in passing, that doesn't seem like an apology. She was just throwing an apology up in the air just so that it can be on record in people's minds that she apologized. That to me means nothing. That kind of an apology means nothing. So yeah, that's all for this video. I just wanted us to think a little bit deeper about people that, apologize without actually meaning it. So let's just focus on people's behavior. Let's just focus on people's behavior and not so much on their apology, because verbal apologies are cheap to a lot of people, especially to the chronic offenders. Verbal apology is cheap because they're used to doing it. They do it all the time, so they can just say, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong, shouldn't have done it. It comes cheaply to them because they're used to doing it, and they're used to doing it because they continue to offend, and they continue to offend because they're not truly sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.